Just to start us off, I am not messing with the electronics, so I'm not being funny. That is good. And as I said, hello and welcome to the ARCTURUS LWT Mark-I CQB 10 half-tan. I've been trying to basically get my hands on one of these for a while, and the question was given to me recently when I was talking to some guys about me having it. They said, why didn't you get one of the expensive models? And I said, well, one, there's a lot of conversations about this particular model type at the moment, again, on the YouTube channels, because about 2 years ago, everyone kept calling it a budget. This is your starter. This is for you if you're brand new in the game, etc., etc., etc. And it intrigued me, because, as you might have seen over the past few videos, I've been doing quite a few budget airsoft rifles. And the reason why it intrigued me was because of something somebody said to me about 3 weeks ago. And what they said to me was this: I'm just an occasional player, Will. I don't play a lot anymore. Do you know what I mean? I go out probably twice a month, so on average, maybe 8 times a year. And I don't want to spend a lot of money because, let's face facts, a lot of the rifles I've even shown you are pretty expensive, especially around the gas blowbacks. So I was very intrigued with this because you and me, airsofters, right? We bring people to the game, not the shops, right? I know you think that, but believe it or not, you, the players, and me are the ones that promote the sport. And I've said this quite a few times to people, because we are on the ground more. We are playing games. We are meeting renters. Renters come on. And if you're not engaging with the renters and you're not encouraging them to get in the sport, you're doing damage to it, right? Because if you encourage renters to participate and enjoy the day, they're going to go away and think, you know what, I want to get into that. They're then going to go to shops. The shop's job then is to encourage them, or the websites, is to encourage them to get more onto the game. So if you're playing games and you're not bothering your ass talking to renters, I wouldn't even talk to you, to tell you the truth. I would ignore you. And I have ignored quite a few people, because there is a few people, and you probably think I'm ranting, but I have seen a bit of a decline in people attending games. And I want to see that stop, believe it or not. I want to see more people on game. Now, so this is something that I think is ideal. You've seen the rest that I've done over the past couple of weeks, but this is quite good. And this does intrigue me because you get a lot in the package. Now, ARCTURUS, I think they look pretty good brand, and they give quite a lot. Not a lot of marketing on the actual rifle itself, okay? There's not a lot on it. It looks quite standard, but it's not when you look at it more detailed at a little bit of features. Now, we'll start at the rear. Okay, now at the rear, you've got your buttstock. It's quite a big, bulky buttstock. But what I do like, this is me, I like that. I think that's quite good. That means that this isn't detached. It's still attached to the rifle. So if you're even mid-game, you click it in. My apologies. You replace the battery. Yeah, it's a Dean's connector. And it's a big chunky Dean's connector as well. And I will take pictures, okay? It's a big chunky Dean's, connector. And actually, there's plenty of room in there, which I was quite chuffed about. Could you stick a spare in there? I don't know. But that, to me, that's quite a good... And you just turn it back. Oops, wrong way. There you go. And that's secure. And looking at that buttstock, that has got cheek rests on both sides, okay? You've got obviously your sling attachments, and then it says that there's 6, but I don't think there is, if you know what I mean. Okay, there you go, goes all the way out. So that's quite, for people with obviously long arms, a bit like myself. You can fit any size. Again, what I like about this is I am not going to do it. You can actually rotate the barrel here, take it off, and you can change the spring. You've got easy access to it. I do get some guys and girls say to me about changing parts. I always say, go to the professionals, all right? Go to your guys and girls that properly, shall we say, do the electronics, because one little mistake, you'll just balls it all up. So don't start fiddling, but that's a great feature there. You've got a brilliant sling hook on both sides. Okay, so that firm metal, because the whole rifle, realistically, obviously with the metal parts of the barrel and that, is polymer, high-end polymer. But that's a really good feature. And even just that there, you're getting more for your buck. I mean, these, like I said, these cheek rests are fantastic. Now, we've got the charging handle, and I want to show you something which I thought was impressive. I'm going to obviously pull it back. See me messing around there then? I'm too busy thinking. Now, if you notice, the fake bolt carrier is to the rear. It's held to the rear. Okay, that means that you can get to your hop a lot easier. So you don't have to pull it and then you adjust. Sometimes you have to hold it back and adjust. So that's a feature that I'm quite impressed with. On this side, I'll show you later on. We'll chuck that dust cover back over. Okay, you've obviously got, as you can see there, you have got your magazine release. Not ambidextrous again, okay? Very prominent, okay? Very easy to use. Now the pistol grip, that is really good. That has got a little rough texture on it, so it's got that nice grip. Yeah, I've seen mostly on games that guys are putting these tape on and other rubber things you can get off DMU. That's for the pistol, when I just realised what I just said. Now, so that is good. That is good. Nothing to change on this, in my opinion, because the internal parts are all customised to this particular rifle. Now, look at the trigger. Now, the trigger is a flat trigger. Now, if you've watched me, you know I like a flat trigger. And they've basically done it in a design that it has that realistic feel. That's what they say if you read the comments and things like that. So already from obviously halfway back, you've got these features that on some rifles you don't get. Okay. Now moving forward, the magazine on it is one of my magazines. I'll talk about the magazine in a bit. Now we've got the front rail. Now you'll see you have your integrated rails here. Okay. You have them on both sides and you have them underneath, and you've got obviously the long one on top. So you've got plenty of room for attachments. I did see some comments from some of the YouTubers that are far better than me, saying that, oh, I wish they supplied the covers and extra rail. And I was thinking, oh, how much are you going to stick on this? Because if we're saying that this is a budget, okay, well, people who are budget in the sense of buying, they're not going to want to buy loads of stuff for it. They want to keep it quite simplistic, okay? All right, but whatever. But you can obviously put your different grips that you want to put on it. The muzzle flash at the end is detachable, okay? There is a little Allen key underneath in case you try to force it off. Don't do that because you'll break it, all right? And again, on that side, as you can see it for yourselves, it's quite a good-looking rifle. Yes, it is that classic type rifle that probably people won't notice it as much, but realistically, for what you've got there straight away, is quite ideal. Let's switch it around. So, obviously, the other side. Again, starting at the rear, you have got your cheek rest there, extended. I've kept it extended. And obviously, as I said before, you've got your sling hook. The charging handle, yeah, very big. So, it's a nice little snap to it. Quite like that. Okay. You've got your, now, fire selector. I have said this in the past. Should it be ambidextrous? But me being me, doing a bit of research because I don't get out much, I found out that, believe it or not, even making it ambidextrous is a bit of a cost. So therefore, it then goes on to the actual consumer. So mostly the reason why you don't see them as ambidextrous is because of cost. So, okay. And I did ask a question the other day after my last video on the Discord channel to a lot of guys. I said, does it really bother those that fire left-handed? And it came back, a lot of them were saying, you get used to it, Will. It's all right. It's a pain in the backside sometimes, but it's what you're paying for the rifle. So if they're happy, as I quite rightly said, if they're happy, I'm happy. Okay, now, the actual rifle itself is programmable. Okay, so I'll show you the card in a second. So you've got your, obviously, you can change it from your semi-automatic to your 2-shot, your 3-shot. We've got the binary, which seems to be very popular. Yeah, I've talked to quite a few people on game. They quite like that. I don't. I'm sorry. I must be just something a bit boring, because I like my semi-automatic, my automatic. Although when I've got my Crytek Vector, I've got my the 3-shot. So yeah, okay. Whatever. Okay, and then obviously you've got the happy switch being automatic. So that's programmable. You've got, if you remember me telling you about that a second ago, that's your bolt release, which is good because, as I said, when you cock it, you can adjust your hop if required and then hit your bolt release, and then you're basically ready to rock and roll. I'm going to remind you again, there's not much marking across it. There's a few little hints of the logos integrated into the actual polymer and things like that. And that's it again. So it's not, there's nothing dramatic about it, but it's still, I'm not just going to say it's still a good looking rifle. All right. It's still something that can be actively out the box, stick a battery on it, and you're ready to rock and roll. Now, what do you get in the box? That's the question, isn't it? Well, you get a magazine. Now, the magazine is 350. I'm not a fan of these high cap magazines, okay? You've got a little door at the top, you pour your BBs in, you click it across, and then you can, sure, a lot of you would know that, and then you have this little like plastic window so you can see your BBs. And problem is with that, I just find every now and again you're like, okay. Some people love them, they think they're great. It's just, if you're asking my opinion, it's just not for me. I prefer my own type mags, that way I don't have to start fiddling around. I don't have to worry about things like that. But that's a great feature. Great color. It's back with the color coin. So the magazine is there. And what I have to mention also about the rifle, it is what I like to point out. It's very light. I'm sorry I'm laughing because it said it's between 2,097 and 2,248 grams. I presume that means with that on it. I think that's what it means. It just didn't say that. Now, what else do you get? Let's start with the basic stuff. So you get your cleaning rod, okay? All right, that's quite a good cleaning rod. I'm not just saying this. That's quite a sturdy one. Compared to some of them you get, like, I'm sure one of these is like bent over or something, you know what I mean? And then the end comes off. So that has a good degree of quality within that. You've got a Dean's connector. If for your battery that you haven't got a connection, not a Dean's connector, like I have one or two, you connect it in, and so there are supplying stuff which is really good. You get iron sights that are plastic. Very rarely on games, apart from renters, have I seen these being used, okay? And that's why I say this is why we encourage people to purchase their own. And you've got to admit, though, a lot of the sites, especially the sites I frequent, the rifles that they actually rent out are pretty good stock, pretty good kit. Oh, I like this. You get a badge. We like a badge, you know what I mean? Stick your badge on there. It's a good shaped badge, you know what I mean? It will definitely attract attention, okay? All right, and then for some reason, you get a fridge magnet. I wish I could keep that for some reason. I don't know why, okay? But on that, this is brand new. This is going back to Outdoor Zone, Davey. So I'm going to leave the link below. All right, so if you want this, all right, it's ready to go, okay? The link will take you through to the site. Those that are obviously outside of the Republic of Ireland, the shipping that he arranges is really decently priced. So thank you as well, David, for supplying it to me. Now, the only criticism I have got, believe it or not, over everything is this, the programming card. It's paper. Well, a bit of card. Cheap. Sorry, not say cheap, but very thin card. Right. You see this? Arcturus. Make it a credit card, okay? That'll be a selling point for you as well, and it stops frustration, because guys with credit cards and girls, they can just put it away in their kit. It means it doesn't get damaged, it gets wet, it doesn't, because that will last literally a couple of games. Because depending on the game you're playing, and you should know this, because dedicated to enthusiasts, by enthusiasts, you should know, if you haven't done a game where you've broken something, lost something, hurt yourself, you've not had a real game. See the amount of comments I'm going to get on that now is going to probably be unbelievable. But I would ask you to change that. Now, good news. what do you get as well? Whoa. I was very impressed with this. I don't usually get impressed. People laugh at me over this. But this is a good booklet. I'm not just saying that. This is a pretty detailed booklet. So, well done. Pat on the back. And it's very clear. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it goes through the basics at the very beginning, but it also goes through all the details. So those that are brand new to the actual sport, who are probably getting into it as an individual, as like me, using me as an example, none of my friends, none of my oldest mates want to do airsoft, okay? I've tried everything in the world to get them out. I've tried everything, trust me. We're all motorbikers together, okay? We all go on tours. I'm a GSA rider. And I've tried for ages, and I got in this. If you ever want to know and you meet me, I'll tell you the story how I got into airsoft. People think it's quite unusual and funny. But anyway, but the thing is, I came into this and I was lucky enough that I fell in with the right guys, and they kept me right and they told me things. And then I realized there and then that there wasn't a lot of information for new starts. And that's what I try to encourage. But anyway, very detailed book. I'm very impressed, very impressed. And then also you get this as well. It's quite a good manual. And what it basically does, a bit of a sales thing, but it's good. I would do the same. It actually goes through all the details of all the rifles, and it gives you all the indications and all the actual information about what's obviously inside the MOSFET, the actual gears and everything. And I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm not just saying that, okay? And it also gives you an idea about the other rifles they supply, okay? And they've got some really good stuff in here. I'm not just saying this, okay? And if they ever get bored, I love your AK series. Now, what I want to do, this is me, what I want to do is I'm going to put a few of my things on it, okay, just a few, all right, and then I'm going to put a battery in it, and as always, I'm just going to fire a few BBs just down towards my small target here in my garage, and so you can hear the effect and we can have a think for yourselves. Let's have a look. So what have I done? Right, I've just put a little suppressor on. That cost me 10 quid. All right. So I can always joke 12 euros or just a couple of dollars. Okay. That's all that was. The torch here. See this torch? Yeah. I'm not being funny. That was bought to me by a friend of mine, and I think he paid a £5. So it's a little torch. Yeah. There's something as an added feature. The scope, you can pick these scopes up for next to nothing. Not being funny. All I warn you is this: if you buy a cheap scope off Amazon, expect it to break. Okay, expect the electronics, the red dot, the green dot, whatever you get, to falter. Okay. However, if you spend about, let's just say, so on Amazon you pick up between 20 to 30 quid. But if you spend about 40, 45 quid from some of the retailers, you'll find that it'll last a lot longer. So again, it's up to you. The only thing you got to remember is, and I haven't put it onto this, is that you should always make sure you try and get a sight protector if you want to keep your sight, okay? On a lot of the scopes I have sight protectors because BBs damage that. And that's it. And lastly is a sling. You know what I mean? I'm not being funny, you pick up slings all the time in sales, okay? I don't usually wear this type of sling. I have one that attaches off my equipment. Just ease of use for me. But that's all I've done, okay? Now, I've got my own magazine, okay? The battery is put in. I'm going to remind you, very easy to put in. So easy, it's unbelievable. Just a turn, anti-clockwise, it flicks down, stick the battery in, plenty of room, okay? Flick it back, lock it. I'll show you the pictures. Oh, you should have seen the pictures already. Okay, I'm going to go basically onto semi, just to start us off. I am not messing with the electronics, so I'm just going to fire a couple of rounds. Now, that isn't very loud, okay? There is a little bit of a snap, but it's not overly loud, but it's what you expect from a rifle like this. The grip's really comfortable. What I'll do, as I always do with you, I'll just fire a few, just to get a bit of a rhythm. Now, I'm going to remind you, I can actually easily adjust my hop from here, okay? All right, if I need to. But for what I'm firing here on a 4-meter range, I'm just firing into one of the BB catchers, the black BB catchers you can get quite cheap. What I'll do, what I know a lot of people like me to do, is a 5 rounds rapid. You ready? And the flat trigger is comfortable and it's got that pull. We've talked about this in the past. Some of the rifles I've designed them that it's just a slight touch, okay, for rapid, okay? That was quite comfortable. What we'll do, happy switch, you know what it is. Oh. That's quite good, that. That means, you know, when you're on that game, and usually get a guy in the team that always wants to be in charge, which, okay, hasn't been selected, and then he gives that order.
Wipe them out.
You'll be ready.
All of them.
Let's go back to semi. And this says it's for CQB, right? But I'm going to tell you now, you will be able to play all day with this. It's very agile, it's very light. So I'm not being funny. That is outstanding. That is good. And as I said before, I'm going to have to put this back in one of the best looking boxes I've seen yet, because otherwise I am going to play with this all day. So, verdict. What's your verdict? I'd be more interested to know with you. Look, all I have done is a little suppressor, a little bit of a torch, and a bit of a scope, and it's totally transformed even the look. You go on game with this, nobody's going to look at you and go, that's a budget rifle, that. Nobody even gives a care in the context. Someone shouldn't care. If they do, go and play something. Go and play golf or something. All right? But this is really a good looking rifle. And I'm hoping someone out there will purchase it, and I'm hoping I'll see you playing with it. On that, I've got another rifle coming up next week, which I'm very keen to show you. Probably in the next 4 to 5 days, because I promised I'd do a series, just a quick series over the space of a month, just to basically show you the different types of budget rifles that are out there. And then I've got a couple of big projects going on. Hope to see you on game. Please come up and say hello. I don't like saying it, but I suppose I have to say it because it encourages me to keep going, is if you can subscribe, if you can like, and please, someone comment. I'm fed up with people coming up to me on game and saying, Will, I really enjoyed your video. I really like what you did. I mean, the amount of people that I've mentioned and the amount of people that I've tried to help and advertise over my videos, and they've not even left a comment, but yet they send me private messages. Thank you for listening to my whinging session. Whatever you're doing, I hope you keep safe. And as always, bye for now.